Yo, what is up everybody, Jill again. Welcome back to another Naruto reaction video here today. And today we got a pretty intriguing video by the great Six, and as you can tell what the title of this is, do Pain's actions make sense? So folks, for me personally speaking, Pain is one of the best villains in the entire history of the Naruto verse in its entirety. You know, the aesthetics, the abilities, the character, the dialogue, it's all goated in my opinion. But I understand where some of the criticism originates from, right? He did flip the switch pretty quickly due to Talk No Jutsu by Naruto at the end of the Pain arc, right? He essentially destroyed the leaf in its entirety, slaughtered many, including some pretty big figures such as Kakashi, right? But then flipped the switch, so all that was undone. The tragedy, the significance, the drama, all undone with the flip of a switch, thanks to Naruto's Talk No Jutsu. So I understand where the criticism makes sense and why some people ask themselves, is this something even a shinobi would do? Right? Is this something a villain would do? Right? And I understand, right, the other side of the coin where they say, well, he was a conflicted character. He didn't know what the right philosophy was. So it's a debatable topic, but I'm very intrigued to see what Six's thoughts are on this. I know he's very knowledgeable on Naruto in general, so let's see what he has to say. But before we begin, any of us really appreciate, hit that like button, turn on notifications, stay updated with yours truly. And if you're new and you enjoy and you mess with the kid, man, be sure to hit that sub button, because once you do, become part of the family forever. But not wasting more time, screen. Let's see what Six says today.
Hello everyone. I mean, title, thumbnail, you've seen them, you know what the video is about. You see the title right there, like the title of the video and title article.
All right, so CBR list. All right.
This article by Ray Pember again. He did the last.
All right, Ray Pember.
The Otsutsuki not making sense. Now he's gonna give us
shout out to Death Note.
His take on why he doesn't think Pain makes sense, or 10 things about Pain that don't make sense.
Okay.
I've been through this article. It is nowhere near the quality of the last one. Like I think in the last one, Pember was actually bringing up like some good things about how the Otsutsuki don't make sense. I think everything he mentions here about Pain makes sense, and I'm gonna explain why.
Okay.
So there's a few things I want to like mention before I get completely into that, because on most of the videos I do like this, people like to bring up that I'm using quote unquote headcanon to explain these things away, so they're not actually good writing points. Until there's differences between explicit and implicit writing, right? So explicit writing is when something is just directly stated to you, right? Like, we know Pain's name is Pain because it's told.
This is explicitly stated, right? Yeah.
Or we know Naruto's trying to master the Rasen Shuriken because we told he's training to master the Rasen Shuriken. Examples of implicit writing are essentially things that are implicated towards, but you don't ever really get it stated outright. So then you have to use your own noggin, your own brain to fill in the gaps. Now, it's not like the majority of people who think that. I think most people understand that.
Yeah, of course. Competent people do, at least.
I don't want to go too far into it, but yeah, we're gonna go over these 10 things about Pain that supposedly make no sense.
All right. I
did a poll because I don't mind doing these videos because they're kind of fun, because I kind of can just like rant. But I did a poll, like, if people wanted to wait for the videos I had upcoming or just wanted me to fill in the time with like a CBR article or something. This is just the one I picked out. After this, I don't think I'm gonna do any more of these for like maybe until January. So after this, they'll have like, the next video should be Obito versus the Sannin, and then it should be Sasuke versus Guy with Swag Kage, and then should come the like Sage.
Sasuke versus Guy was a good video, by the way.
All those videos are fairly important.
Let me know if you want me to react to the others, though.
I told my editors to spend extra time on them so that they look really nice. But yeah, we can just get right into this Pain thing. Pain was one of the most intriguing villains in the Naruto series. Serving as the leader of the Akatsuki, Pain was a corpse controlled by none other than Nagato. He came into existence when Yahiko died due to circumstances put forward by Hanzo of Amigakure. So, I mean, yeah, we know that. And I know Pember can know what he's talking about, right? Like I said, the last article was really good. Pain's unlike any other villain, blah, blah, blah. some things about him just simply don't make sense. So the first one he brings up, or I guess the 10th thing, whatever, top to bottom, doesn't matter. Nagato was weakened when he chose pain as his weapon. He essentially says, this doesn't make sense because Nagato could have just used his own body and healed himself, right? And at first glance, I could see everyone agreeing with this point, right? But then you think about it, did Nagato even know how to use his rinnegan at this point? It's sort of implied like at this point, Nagato gets this weird mental imp and he starts doing rinnegan things that he doesn't understand.
Right.
Like he summons the ghetto statue. There's the weird like soul-taking dragon that comes out that we never see again. Not from Madara, not from Nagato, not from Obito. No one ever uses it again. His legs are messed up, and there's a high stress moment, right? Like his friend just died. You know, if he doesn't know how to use his rinnegan powers, how is he gonna heal himself? And we just have no idea that. We have no idea if Nagato can even use those powers to heal himself. So I don't think that this doesn't make sense. I think it's perfectly sensible if you explain
right.
in a way that he didn't know how to use them. That's why he did it.
Right.
Because we even see with Edo Nagato, when Edo Nagato gets B's chakra, his legs go back to normal form and he can walk and stuff. So yeah, I think that's fine. Pain wasted his chakra when destroying Konoha. So he essentially says here that this didn't make sense because it weakened him in his fight with Naruto. Which, okay, fair enough, right? But he wasn't expecting to fight someone as strong as Sage Naruto at the time.
Correct.
And even then, he won. Like he beat Sage Naruto.
He did.
So on top of the fact that he beat who he was supposed to beat, the draining of chakra, it weakened him. But there's a point in the fight, and this is stated in the weekly release, when Pain goes back to full power. So, and then he could even get closer and get stronger after that, like when he's using Chibaku Tensei. Saying he didn't have enough chakra to completely seal the 9 tails in Chibaku Tensei is kind of wrong, because when Pain sees the 8 tails breaking out of Chibaku Tensei, he's not like, oh my god, he's gonna kill me. He's like, oh, let me just make it a little bit bigger, right? So it's not like Pain was completely drained, right? He definitely wasn't at full power when the fight first started, but as it goes on, he should have just been getting better, right? Just getting getting his chakra back.
All right, I want to talk about that last thing that the guy wrote, that Six pointed out, with that being that Pain destroyed the leaf for no reason and ended up being weaker, right? I honestly believe Pain thought he was untouchable at that point. He was unrivaled for a long period of time. He thought nobody in the leaf could match him, and he certainly didn't expect Sage Naruto to be the final opponent that he had to face, right? So I think part of it was arrogance, right? And part of it was confidence, with those obviously being similar. So that's why he did it. He's like, oh, I'm a god amongst these children, essentially. So he wanted to flex a little bit and completely devastate the leaf in its entirety. Right, he easily disposed of all the shinobi within the leaf, including Kakashi and shinobi of that stature. So that's why he did what he did, right? And I'm sure he was frustrated that he couldn't find Naruto, right, to take the 9 tails. I'm sure that was also another reason why he did it. Does it not make sense? I mean, I guess from our perspective it doesn't, but from his, it probably makes plenty of sense. In his mind, he was like, okay, I'm unrivaled, I'm unmatched. These guys can't match me. I'm God amongst these children. So I'm going to show them what a God can do. Right? And that's what he did. Unfortunately for him, ended up making him weaker against a worthy opponent, which was Sage Naruto. Which he did beat, by the way. He still beat him. He was pressed by him. He destroyed a few paths of pain, which was very impressive, but he still won. Until the 9 tails come out, of course. But I would say it makes no sense. I think that's the wrong word.
Pain's plan would never work because I already failed once. So the point he brings up here, is that Hashirama tried this when he distributed the Biju to the other shinobi villages. And that's essentially what Pain's trying to do. They're not the same plan whatsoever.
Yeah, they're not.
Hashirama was hoping that if everyone had equal power, balance would be maintained and people wouldn't
Right.
fight over power. Pain is saying he's gonna take that power away and basically beat everybody into submission, which he should have been able to do on his own, right? Like,
True.
basically, anyway, he should have been able to. I can't think of any of the 5 Kage who are all the strongest of their respective villages. There's literally a statement like that for every type of Kage. But Pain should have been able to do that on his own, but he wanted the Jubi to do it or whatever. He didn't. Pain never outright said he was gonna get the Jubi, but he said he wanted all the Biju to create a weapon, so we know it was the Jubi.
Right.
So, I mean, this makes sense, and it does make sense. It's like when the 5 Kage are gathering around, they're like, "Oh, Madara has 7 Biju. We need to form an alliance to even try to combat that power." So Pain would have had 9 that turned into the 10 Tails. He would have been able to beat the world into submission easily.
Easily, yeah.
Pain didn't kill Danzo in all his years as a villain. He essentially says Danzo had some involvement in Yahiko's death, which is true. Nagato acknowledges that. He just focused most of the hate on Hanzo, on top of the leaf being off limits because of Obito, like his master.
It wasn't relevant enough for him to go after him.
Like,
Like,
on Hanzo. Like,
yeah, I agree.
That Pain like went through. He killed everyone related to Hanzo, everyone that ever worked with him. And he did some other like vile stuff. It's pretty bad, but
yeah, Danzo's an asshole for sure.
Like dominated Hanzo, all that stuff. He blamed Hanzo on. So, yeah. Pain fell for Obito's tricks every time. Obito is extremely smart. Extremely smart. Not only is Obito extremely smart, he's extremely smart and he's claiming to be somebody who's been around for a long time. And naturally, someone like Nagato should respect somebody who he thinks is so old and
powerful,
to be so wise,
yeah,
like Obito. And Obito does know a lot because Madara taught him a lot. He knows a lot. That's how he could act like him and people would believe it.
Correct.
And on top of that, this is like part of Obito and Madara's plan. You know, if someone doesn't have darkness in them, create darkness and then, you know, let it fluster. That's essentially what he did when Nagato lost Yahiko. He just expedited the darkness, whatever. You get what I'm saying. Pain vastly underestimated the power of the Nine Tails. Essentially what he's saying here is that the Nine Tails are stronger than the other 7, so Pain should have known how strong it was. That doesn't, like, not the explanation, but the sentence here doesn't make any sense. All Pain knows is that the Nine Tails is stronger than the other tail beast they've captured. That doesn't mean he should know exactly how strong it is.
Right.
Because if you take it seriously, right, the Nine Tails should be stronger, even half of it, than all the other ones put together. Pain has 78 tails, but 1 through 7 put together still should not be able to beat Kurama.
Yeah, there's no comparison,
Just
right?
knowing that Kurama is stronger than them is not enough to come to that conclusion on your own.
I agree.
You would need like some extra knowledge, because just being stronger than the other 9 Biju is, if we put it in power levels, if all the other Biju are 9,000, the Nine Tails could just be a 10,000, right? Like that would qualify as stronger. So it's like, I don't know. It's just there's just, I don't think there's a way to rationalize this to say it doesn't make sense for him to think that.
I agree. All right, so he's past halfway through this list. I want to discuss some of these things. A lot of these things I wouldn't consider nonsense, like the Danzo thing. Why would he give a shit about Danzo? I understand he was part of the reason why Yahiko died, but Pain has bigger fish to fry than bitch ass Danzo. What the fuck would he care about him? And why would it make sense to go to the fucking leaf just to kill Danzo when it would be problematic to some extent? He'd have the whole fucking leaf on his head. Not that he thinks he can't take them, but why the fuck would he do that? He has bigger fish to fry. He's capturing Biju for his plan of world domination to satisfy his philosophical viewpoints on peace, on prosperity. He doesn't give a fuck about no bitch ass Danzo. In fact, it would make no sense to go after him. That makes no sense. That would just create more problems than solutions. That's fucking stupid. That's stupid. That makes no sense. So that's stupid as shit. I don't know what the fuck Ray Penberg was thinking there. And as far as the Obito one, dude, fucking Minato thought he was Madara. How the fuck does that make no sense that he kept falling for Obito's tricks? Obito tricked the entire fucking world for like several years. He tricked Minato, the greatest mind in shinobi history, based off Academy scores. What the fuck are you talking about? How does that make no sense? The motherfucker thought he was Madara. He's probably scared of the motherfucker, dude. Everyone shits their pants when they hear that name. And Obito competed with the 4th fucking Hokage as a fucking teenager. So of course even Minato's gonna think he's fucking Obito. That he's Madara Uchiha. How the fuck does that make no sense? That makes plenty of sense. Shit, I think he's Madara too. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. This list isn't very well made. I feel like this guy was just pulling shit out of his ass to give Pain a bad rep. Or some kind of negative stigma or some shit. I don't know what this guy was thinking specifically, but these are some terrible fucking nitpickings by this guy. So yeah, this list is not very well made. Not surprised. CBR has a reputation of doing that, so shit. I'm not surprised at all, but let's continue.
Pain never attacked Konoha when it was at its weakest. The leaf is off limits. Obito cut a deal with Itachi. Look, join me. We kill the clan. I won't touch Sasuke or the leaf. That extends the Pain because Pain gets his orders directly from Obito. So when Itachi dies, Obito tells Pain, look, head to Konoha. Right? So that's why Pain didn't attack the village when it was at its weakest.
Right.
So like, this is I'm talking about examples of implicit writing. That's never directly said, but you should be able to come to that conclusion on your own if you have the sufficient knowledge.
Exactly.
Not saying Ray Pember is dumb. He may not have known that Obito and Itachi cut a deal.
I feel like Ray Pember is just grasping for straws, honestly.
One life was given up in order to resurrect many others. The point with this one is essentially that Nagato trading his life for the others makes no sense. But as far as I can tell down here, all he does is claim it makes no sense. He doesn't actually say why it shouldn't make sense. He just says Conan claimed that he could survive the jutsu if he had more chakra, which doesn't make sense. I mean, it does. When you run out of chakra, you die.
Yeah, what the fuck? I don't know, man. What this guy, fucking guy's talking about.
It doesn't make sense because one life is in exchange for hundreds, if not thousands. He doesn't say why. He doesn't say why, so I don't know.
What?
I don't know what he's talking about. Like, maybe.
Give me a second, man. What the fuck is this guy talking about? This Ray Pember guy says, sacrificing one life to save hundreds to thousands doesn't make fucking sense, bro. Is one life worth more than hundreds to thousands? I don't know what the fuck this guy's, what he's on. I'm fucking confused. I'm literally confused. Is this supposed to be a troll shit, man? Because there's no way this guy's serious. This is fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid. He could have twisted this around and said, why would Nagato flip the switch on his philosophical viewpoint so easily? That would have been fair. And that's what I thought would be here, but as soon as I saw CBR, I was like, that's not happening. This fucking dumbass is write this bullshit. Six saw that. He's pointing it out. This is so fucking stupid. Just read that. One life was given up in order to resurrect many others. That doesn't make sense, bro. That doesn't make sense. What the fuck? I don't know, man. Let's continue.
You could argue it doesn't make sense because, like, of Chiyo's jutsu, like Kisho Tensei, when she revived Gaara, like one life for one life. But
that's
this is the
different.
Rinnegan.
Yeah, it's one life for one
different.
life. This fucking one for thousands.
Maybe you could just say like Nagato just had the chakra to do it or something like that. Like it's a jutsu. He was using the supposedly the seventh path of pain. The Rinnegan was handled by a child somehow. Now, I'm guessing the reason Penber says this doesn't make sense is because Obito says when he implanted the Rinnegan that it caused him to start losing himself because of the amount of chakra he had.
All right.
So there are two ways of going about this. You can either say the Rinnegan is more potent on Obito, or since Obito has less chakra than Nagato, he can handle less. Actually, yeah, we'll just go with those two. I don't wanna stay here forever on this. So the reason it may be more potent on Obito is because Obito has both Uchiha and Senju DNA, which is almost the DNA you need to have the rinnegan to awaken it. So it was like, I guess you could say, closer to home, and that's why Obito can use the abilities better than Nagato.
Right,
Obito can summon the full Geto statue when Nagato can only summon half. But yeah, that's one reason. Another reason is, chakra's a life force. Nagato naturally, just due to being an Uzumaki,
has more chakra,
has
yeah.
a large amount of chakra.
Exactly.
Right? Obito, he shouldn't have like as large a pool of chakra as Nagato. So when Obito implants the eye into himself and he gets all that chakra, it should cause him to start going like insane. Like, we see this happen with two other things. We see it happen with the Jubi when Obito gets it, and we see it happen with B and Kisame. Well, it doesn't actually happen there, but Kisame says that the amount of chakra B has should be driving him insane. So, I mean, you could use that to make sort of like some inductive argument that, yeah, maybe Obito couldn't handle it because of, the amount of chakra, and that's how.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what he fucking said. Yeah, exactly.
Like I said, bro, there's a way to explain all of this. I've explained, I think anyway, if I haven't, tell me in the comments, but I think I've explained at least 10 through 2 all of these perfectly fine.
Yeah.
As to why they make sense. Pain shouldn't have existed since Yahiko could have been saved. Sort of goes back to the beginning, this one here, where Nagato may just not know how much chakra it takes, or not chakra, he may just not know how much or how to use his rinnegan to properly do this jutsu, which, like I said, it makes sense that he wouldn't, considering he didn't revive his best friend with it. And Naruto would have. Like, Nagato definitely cared for Yahiko more than Naruto, right?
Right.
And after talking to Naruto, he came to the conclusion that he needed to rewrite everything he did and revive the whole Leaf Village. So I think if he had the ability to, he would have revived his best friend. But yeah, that's it. That's the video. If you liked it, obviously like, subscribe, because my content's not normally like this. If this is your first time,
this is entertaining. Seeing him shit on the dumbass list.
But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Have a nice.
All right, 6. Peace out. All right, well, that's the video, man. Jesus Christ. It's just, the list was fucking terrible. The last one, okay, I guess it makes sense. Why didn't he revive Yahiko? Like, I guess that makes sense, right? That's okay. I guess I'll give you that. If he has the ability to revive thousands of people, why didn't he just revive Yahiko if he cared about him so much? I guess that's fair. That's the only fair thing said in this fucking trash ass list. I think the last one before that, let me see, what was the last one again? I need to read that bullshit. The second one real quick. The rinnegan was handled by a child somehow. Bro, it wasn't fucking handled. The motherfucker was unstable until the breaking point, which was when Yahiko died and he finally started using his abilities and he lost himself. It was never handled. If you mean that, how could he sustain it? It's because he's a fucking Uzumaki, bro. Same reason why Naruto can handle the Nine Tails. He has a shitload of fucking chakra. Being a child doesn't fucking make you have less chakra. What the fuck are you talking about, man? I don't know. This guy who wrote this list is fucking stupid as shit. I'm sorry. It's a fucking terrible list. Terrible fucking list. None of the shit he said really points out shit not making sense. Besides the last one, the number one. I guess, yeah, why didn't he revive Yahiko if he cared about him so deeply? But even that can be explained. Maybe there's a time limit to it. Maybe, well, I guess that would be negated by the fact that Madara was revived when he's been dead for a long fucking time. So I guess that could be negated. But that can be explained in different ways. You could say Nagato changed. His philosophy changed from that of Yahiko's. When Yahiko died, that philosophical kind of mindset died with him. And maybe Nagato's like, yeah, Yahiko died. He's gone now, and I'm going to change things my way. I'm sure he still cares about the guy. I mean, he fucking uses him as the main path of pain, for fuck's sake. But I think in his head, he thought, yeah, I got to change the way we thought the world could be changed in an optimal way. So now that Yahiko's gone, it's better for him to stay gone because, right, maybe deep down, Pain knew what he was doing wasn't right, and Yahiko wouldn't approve. Yahiko was a very optimistic kind of individual, revolutionary, so to speak, in a different, he's a revolutionary to a different extent compared to the most current Pain that fought Naruto, right? So it's explainable. Is there parts of it that you could argue don't make sense? Yeah, why didn't he revive him if he cared about him so much? But then again, it could be his decision not to revive him, right? So that can be explained, and it can make sense. All the other shit is fucking stupid as hell. All of it's so fucking stupid. I just can't. It just hurts my head reading all this bullshit. But yeah, guys, this is a good video. This is entertaining by 6, and I definitely want to start doing more videos by more anime authorities. Right? If you guys could tell, I did one by Carthu today, and I did one by 6. And if you guys have any anime authorities that you want me to react to, please let me know. I'm currently working on my own video. It should be done in the next couple of weeks. It's my biggest project yet, and that will be out soon. But yeah, guys, it's gonna wrap it up. Very entertaining, very frustrating because of the stupid ass list, but 6 made it entertaining, and that's gonna wrap it up. But I'll catch you in the next video. It's JW signing out. Peace.